Backyard Farm. Look at this. What a blessing. My brother-in-law came over and built Clay a nice ramp. Some of you may or may not know that Clay had his leg amputated from diabetes from the knee down. And so we were like throwing tables down because, I didn't really have a lot of people that I knew up in this area that could help us and stuff. And so his brother just came over one day and he built us a ramp and he said, "Merry Christmas." So wasn't that sweet? And so at the very end he tapered it down, so that's covered. He's going to come take it out. So that's that. Clay's doing well. He has been in the hospital, believe it or not, like 7 times lately. We couldn't understand exactly what was happening because he kept having bladder infections from a catheterizer. And we were like, what's going on? What are we going to do? But at the end of the day, there's some more serious surgery and they wanted to make sure that they didn't have to do that. So unfortunately, because he had too much antibiotics in the hospital at one point, not that the hospital did anything, it's just what happens if you have a catheterizer sometimes. And his bladder is only the size of a shot glass. Like it only holds like an ounce. So there was lots of issues with that. So because of that, it kept giving him infections no matter how much we could do. So he's been in the hospital like each and every other week, it seems like. So pray for us that we get to the bottom of all this and that they can move forward. Last time it was like infection or not, they gave him Botox. I think he was like between an infection, like a few days, like had the medicines and everything, because they didn't want him to just keep getting an infection from that catheterizer. So that has happened. I want to show you my mess in the front. And there's a reason I want to share with this. Because of the food stamp thing and everything. I haven't seen any problems in my area. But what I do is if there's something I don't want, I put it at the end of my driveway and write free. And sometimes it might be food that we don't eat. Things that from our house, because we have a busy road and people will just take things usually within hours. So that chair, I had things up there, it's like, oh, that's gone already. But it moves fast. But just some ideas that you can do to help share the gospel. You can put even tracts out there of Bibles. I've left Bibles and stuff out there. I've had people take some Bible stuff, but not a whole lot. And because it looks like it's going to start to rain and stuff, there's none of that out there. But I did hand out I went to the Mexican store today and gave them a box of Bibles and jewelry with tracts attached and things like that. And just things that, you might want to start doing. They call them evangelism boxes. You just fill them with Bibles, gifts with tracts attached. And hey, when we get to heaven, we all know God's coming back soon. Jesus is going to return in the rapture. So, we want to be ready and we want to help other people so that they don't have to go in the tribulation. So, it's windy out today. But I wanted to shoot out a quick video and show you the beautiful ramp. I mean, I'm just so blessed. I never expected something this nice. So, it's super, super nice. But in a pinch, I did use some card tables, really long card tables that we used. And they did work. But because Clay goes out in a wheelchair, but he's getting better. He can walk. He's got a prosthetic leg, but he got so weak from all this business of finding out that his bladder was so small that we had to he got weak because he got C. diff, which I didn't even know what it was. We heard about it. He got it from too many antibiotics, which happens. And so, but then he's over that, but they don't want him to get that back or to get a bladder infection. So hopefully, knock on wood, we don't have to go back until Monday when we go. And they're going to see if the Botox that they put in, because Botox, I guess, enlarges your bladder, if that works. So please, please keep us in prayer. We're just proceeding forward, and we know that God is a healer. And Derek's Bible study and my prayer group, we've all been praying that God would give my husband a new leg. And I do believe that God gives us new body parts. And, I don't know which way God's going to choose to do all this, but we love him and we know that he has our perfect, he's got our perfect, what should I say, best interest at hand. And if you haven't seen Derek's Bible study, that's actually going to be on tonight at 8:30. And he's going to be teaching on Jeremiah, so you might want to check that out too. So I enjoy listening to all of the YouTube channels and things like that. If you follow me on Facebook, a lot of times I'll shoot up videos that, it might be David Guzik preaching on Exodus, or Skip Heitzig, or Robert Breaker, or David Jeremiah. There's lots of good preachers out there. So, okay guys, so this is Ruthie. I will see you in my next video. Please like, comment, and share my video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.